Hello guys, Vlad is here with you again. In this episode I will make the full color grading process note by note of the shot from the previous video. I will show you my tricks and process of how I do my color grading from start to finish. So let's jump into DaVinci Resolve. Okay, let's start and create our node tree. I will use 12 nodes here because I don't like making a lot of adjustments in one node. So we'll make here 5 and 2 more here. The first node will go as CST in, and the 10th node will be our CST out. And for the CST in, I will use color space transform, while I know that this is the retro file, so I choose the red white gamut, and here red log 3G10. And I like working in DaVinci white gamut color space, so I choose the DaVinci white gamut and DaVinci intermediate here. And for the CST out, we will go from DaVinci white gamut to Rec 709. DaVinci intermediate, Rec 709, gamma 2.4. That's what my monitor is set for. Okay, so we have converted image already, so let's name another nodes. I will leave the second node for a while because I sometimes use it for a highlight recovery in HDR Wheels or noise reduction. Let's jump to the third node, and this will be our exposure and contrast. The next node will go balance, then corrections. I will show what I do here. There's a small adjustments like black point or white point if needed. Then we have the node for our secondaries like hues, saturations and curves. Okay, this will go for Vignette. And the next node will be RGB Mixer. It's my trick that I use sometimes to push the character even more from the background. And then we have our glow. And after the CST out, we will add some look. And the last node will go for grain and bloom. Okay, let's start working with our exposure, but first I will go to the waveform, we'll choose the Y and not colorized. So I see the Luma channel. And go to the wheels, so what do I want to do here? I want to push the gain up, maybe a little bit stronger. Let's see what it does. A little bit more, okay. Something like that. Then I usually go to gamma and make a contrast between gain and gamma, because when I drop down the gamma, I add some additional darkness in the skin, so the skin tone become more cinematic in my taste. So let's go like something -8. We can always come back and change the settings, it's not a problem. So let's experiment it here. And then when I drop down the gamma, I push my lift a little bit up, something like that. And let's add some contrast. We will be adding more contrast in curves, but it's just a small adjustment here. So what we've done so far, like before and after. Okay, it looks better for me. Maybe just open the lift a little bit more, and then we will push it in the curves. So let's jump to our curves and create an S-curve to get a better contrast here. Because we are going for commercial look here, it should be contrasty, clean whites, clean blacks, and good skin tone. And maybe drop this a little bit down, and maybe down here. Not too much, not to crash an image. And a little bit down here. We can always come back later and change everything, so not a problem. So we have the starting point, and we see that this image is way too warm. As I showed you in my previous video, I will do the balance with the primary wheels, but first I will turn the RGB channel in my scopes and colorize. I choose RGB and colorize, so I see every channel here. If I go to his clothes, I can see that there's way too much red, it's less green, and way too low blue. So we have to add the blue, remove red, and so on. So let's grab the red channel in our offset and push it down. Push down until I get it on the green level, somewhere here. Maybe a little bit more. We will check how it goes when we push the blue channel up. And a little bit down with the green channel to line it up with the red. And push up our blue channel. What I want to get here, it's a white color in his clothes first. Maybe add some red. A bit of green. Maybe let's play around with the with the blue channel. I will add a little bit blue. Okay, something like that. We see that this aligns and looks like it's white, but we have to go down with the lift because we see too much blue tint in our lift. So at the previous video, some of you guys were asking about why I go too far with the blue channel and too far with the red channel in the lift. Because I know that I will have to compensate that in gamma. If we go with the blue channel, for example, in the lift until the green, as you see here, we want to align them to get the neutral color, and I go up with the red channel also here. So we've got our neutral blacks, but we have way too saturated skin. So if we want to desaturate the skin, we have to drop down our reds in an opposite direction and add some blue. We are desaturating our skin tones here. Yeah, it looks really nice at the moment, but I see that our blacks became not black, they became bluish again. So we have to push our blue channel more. And we just go to the lift and gamma, and pushing them to compensate that. So in the first video I've gone too far because I knew that I have to compensate in gamma. So let's go a little bit lower here, like -7. And add the red channel a little bit more, like plus maybe like 6 here, and then just drop down the reds in an opposite direction in our gamma, like -6, 7, yeah, maybe something like that, and +9, I hope will be enough here. Yeah. And as you see, we have a better image here, but we've lost our highlights and they became too blue. So I drop the blues down in gain and add some red. I want to align this signal here, so it will become white. Okay, something like that, maybe. And it's too magenta now, so I will go and add some green in our gamma channel. And I'm looking at his skin tone here. I want to align to this line because we are going to the commercial clean look, so we need a clean skin tone here. So let's push the green channel somewhere here. It looks better now, but it's a bit too green in our highlights. Let's push up our reds maybe. A bit of blues and maybe remove some green. It looks okay for me now for my eye, but I still see that there's a bit of blue in the shadow, so I can go to our lift and push the blue channel a bit down, something like that. So we have to get the best results in our balance and then make small corrections in our correction node. But I will do that later after I apply the look. So let's leave these corrections for a while and let's go to our look. To create the look, I usually go with the enhancer, but you can use the film looks here in DaVinci Resolve, they are free. But first of all, let's go and add the enhancer. The enhancer. It looks weird at the moment, but I will go down and turn off all the enhancer functions, disable all tools. I will use only the print here. For the print, I will choose Kodak 2383 print film. And let's enable it. Okay, as I see, it's too strong for my eye, and I will deal with that now. I want to keep clean whites in this image because we are going for the commercial look. So when you choose the Kodak 2383, it usually adds a bit of warmth in the highlights. So we have to go to our target white and push it up. Okay, somewhere here. And I use the analog range limiter for a softer contrast here. And as I see, it boosts a lot of saturation, so I can go to the film developer, choose the color boost and push it down. Somewhere like maybe minus 33 here. Okay, something like that. But this look is too strong for me. So what I will do, I will go down and change the enhancer output for maybe like 45, somewhere here. And we can check what it does now, before and after, before and after. It looks much better for me. I like the blues, the more cyan blues. It's a cold and clean look. The skin tones are beautiful here, and everything looks even much better. Okay, so what I will do next, I will go to the secondaries, curves, hue versus saturation. We'll choose the blue channel, and somewhere between here, I will choose the wider range for a softer effect, and desaturate the blues, because I don't like so much saturation in the blues here. Somewhere here. Yeah, it looks pretty cool for me. Let's look at it before and after, before and after. We can always come back and add the blue back if we need, but I will stay with this. And let's go to the next node. It will be our vignette. Let's choose the window, circular window, and push it wider. We need it to be a big window and a soft window. While I see that the light is coming from the right side, I want to keep my vignette center on the right side too. It looks better for me. Okay, so maybe something like that. Then invert our window, go to the curves, grab our midtones and push them down. Maybe not so much, like that. And let's see it before and after, before and after. And we see that our eyes are pushed towards the character. I use vignette almost in every project, so before and after, before and after. And let's go to our RGB mixer. I would like to show you some trick that I usually use when I have the bluish background to push the character a bit more from the background. So let's go to the RGB mixer and then set the monochrome. But in the node menu, we are going to the composite mode and choose the luminosity. So as you see, it does nothing at the moment, but we have 3 channels, red, green, and blue. So what I want to do to push the blue channel down to decrease its brightness, and let's go down. Not too far, not to damage an image here. So let's go, it's a little bit like minus something 44. And up with our red channel, because I want to push his skin tones up. Like maybe it's too much, like 30, 35. And let's play a little bit with the green channel, what it does here. Maybe, okay, I like what it does here. Okay, so let's leave it now and check the before and after, before and after. Do you see how it's pushing the character? Before and after, before and after. I like it a lot. Okay, and then let's switch to our glow. Let's add the glow effect. and I usually use it in a soft light because I like what it does. Let's push the shine threshold up to 0 and the spread down up to maybe like, I like using it like 0.15, 0.14, something like that. It looks softer. And then let's go to our gain, push the gain a bit down because it's crushing our highlights at the moment, like maybe here, and push the gamma a little bit up to have a little bit less contrast, maybe something like here. And then I choose alpha limits effect, so I could use qualifier. Because I don't like what it does with our shadows, I will push the shadows up. I don't want to have an effect on the shadows, somewhere like maybe here, and let's make it softer. Okay, somewhere here. Let's just take a look at before and after, before and after. I like the saturation of the glow. It adds some cinematic saturation here. I would push it a little bit higher. And then I would go to the global blend and push it a little bit lower, because I don't want it to have a full effect on our grade, so I will push it like somewhere like 0.50. Okay, it looks good for me. Then let's go to our last node. I will use the enhancer again because I love its grain and bloom, so let's go and add the enhancer. Let's go down, disable all tools. And we will go for a bloom here and enable the bloom, but it's a bit too strong for my taste, so I'll go to the custom and push the amplify a little bit down. Yeah, something like that. Maybe an impact a little bit lower. And let's see, before and after, before and after. As you see, it softens out everything here and looks much better, less digital. Before and after. If you feel that it's too strong, you can always go to an impact and push it down, but I will leave it stronger because I like the bloom. And let's search for a grain over here, film grain, enable it. It's a bit too strong for my taste. I will also go to the custom. We will choose the grain size, maybe like something like that. I will drop down a little bit from the midtones and we'll add some more grain and shadows, and maybe we'll leave it in the highlights like it is. And this is how it looks now. As we see, the grain is affecting our image contrast. It lifts the shadows a little bit and pushing down the highlights, so we can control that. We can go to our expand section, enable it, and push the highlights up. Something like here. And let's see the before and after. Okay, maybe a bit more, before and after. And the shadows down. Before and after. Yeah, it looks real nice, contrasty. And then we can come back to our correction node and we'll check what we have to do here. I still see that blacks are still a little bit bluish, so we can go to our primaries, log wheels, and push our shadow red channel a little bit up and the blue channel a bit down. Maybe the green too. Yeah. I want to get the pure white over here in this area because our blacks sits here. As we see, they became much more neutral here, and I also see that the whites are a little bit greenish. Maybe, yeah, it's a bit greenish here, so I can go to the highlights and maybe add some blue, and maybe remove some green, something like that. So it's before and after. Really small adjustments, but make an image look better. I also see that our green is adding a chroma. It's a color pixels, like here. As you see, we can go back to the grain and choose the Chroma and push it down. I like having it a bit, but not too much. I want more like monochromatic grain here, and we'll leave somewhere maybe like 20. Okay, let's turn off the effect window. What I also like to do in the second node, I would like to add some highlight contrast here. So let's go to the second node HDR Wheels. Let's press Shift H, its highlight function, to see what we are affecting here. And go to our highlights and specular. I choose the highlights first. I want to have an effect on his clothes, the brightest area, not his skin tone. Something like that. And then I switch to the specular. And in our specular, I would like to affect only brightest areas of his clothes. Yeah, something like that. Okay, let's press Shift H again. And then we will go down with the highlights, just to soften the look, and then just go up with the specular. And once again, a bit down with the highlights. And let's check what we've done here. Let's go closer a little bit, and before and after, before and after. So we've added a little bit of contrast in the highlight area, and if you like that, you can do that way, or you can skip this step because it's not necessary. Let's check once again what we've done here. Let's go and kill all the nodes. So CST in and CST out, it's a Rec 709 conversion. So we've gone to our exposure, balance, corrections, secondaries, vignette, RGB mixer, glow, look, grain and bloom, and HDR. I would also like to show you one example. I've got some questions from my subscribers, and they asked if it will work in a 10-bit footage. So let's go to our edit page, then duplicate our clip, and then go to the color page back and reset all the grades. Go back to our edit page and render it in place. For example, like Apple ProRes 422. It's a 10-bit file. Okay, render. And we will check if this retro file grade work on the 10-bit Apple ProRes footage. So it's rendered now. Let's go to our color page, turn on the clips, and then let's copy and paste our grade. As you see, it works the same. This and the red file and ProRes 422. And what I also like to do here, to desaturate the red a bit, because I see it's way too much saturation in these tomatoes, I'd like to go to my secondaries. As you understand the color, the brighter the color is, the less saturated it should be. As an apple, for example, the more saturation an apple has, the darker it will appear. So let's go to our secondaries and maybe just grab the hue versus saturation, and I'd like to desaturate the reds a little bit, but still keep the skin tone in an orange area. And I would also go and drop down the luminance of these reds and something like that. So it looks much better for me now. And let's go to see the before and after. Before and after. It's more neutral, more natural. And that's it for this video, guys. At the end of this video, I want to thank you for all of your comments, questions, likes, shares, subscriptions that came from my last episode. I really didn't expect so much activity. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that, and it motivates me to make more videos and all the stuff around the color grading. So hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!